Hello, welcome to the Reframing Mindset podcast. We are clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity, practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day.
Okay, so welcome back to Reframe Mindset Podcast. My name is Colin Smith Brooks. This episode is, one back in high school again. When a stranger just helped me out in a way that, you know, it's a weird experience, but let us tell the story. So back in high school, when I so back in primary school was in a very isolated location, but at my high school now was in the city, in the city. So we had access to things like KFC, Wendy's, and such like that. So usually during the week, I save up, me and one of my friend and some other friend, On Friday we go KFC, buy KFC and whatnot and thing. And then eventually we upgraded to Wendy's, Wendy's usually go and maybe buy like um maybe the Frosty, Frosty or something like that. So around grade eight, though what usually happen now when we have during exam time now, we are after we finish exam. If we have no exams for the day, we can just simply just leave the school and just go home. So there was this one day now. We have this exam. It was pretty easy, So we just did it and came out, and then we have no more exam for the day. And then we just say, okay, we're going over to, walk, go home and such. But some of them say, okay, we're going to go to Wendy's. So everybody had money to buy something, but I didn't, dog. I didn't, So, but then I just went over there doing their thing, and everybody was just buying something to eat and something like that. I had nothing, So boom, everybody get collecting their food and thing, and then basically I'm just chilling, watching the TV, and I was SpongeBob. I was just watching TV, big chilling and thing, and then all of a sudden, randomly, I hear this woman that just came to me and just gave me $500, and it's like out of nowhere. And I look, you see the lady walk back to his, to a man that he came with, and they just walk out. I was like, yo, the whole friend group look at the situation like, wow, bro, wow, oh, you are so lucky, It's me. That was just, yo, she just randomly, it's like, she could see the struggle on my face, and just simply just come out and help me out. But that was one of those, everybody just called me lucky that day, So I just take it, buy something on the menu, and I end up eating some Wendy's that day, And, it was one of those things. And it just bring me back to one of those episodes that I made a while back when I said, you can, sometimes I just feeling down, you don't feel in the best mind, I just simply give somebody money. And I always say, kind, kindness is one of those rare, weird return on investment. I guess, telling the story that that was the I guess she using that rule, she just simply gave it to me, and that one time it end up made me give back one person some money sometime, so life is weird, I guess you give what you get, man. But it's just one of those stories where I say, just it's just one of those light episodes where that just came to my head. If I say okay, I can just tell it, So yeah, man, and look forward to the next episode. Mm-hmm.
Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/cssb/support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page, Reframing Mindset Podcast, or on Twitter at ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode.
This episode is supposed to be dropped like a day before Valentine's Day. So, it makes sense to talk about my Valentine's Day war. Yeah, so, would I be having a Valentine's? Highly unlikely, But, since it's Valentine's Day soon, I should know a story, that if you have listened to the podcast, you might heard the story before, yeah. But yeah, what he never really knew what happened was the last day that that whole story end up going on was Valentine's Day of, I think, 2021. So yeah, so let's go back into this story, because